Welcome everybody to Compas on the Beat. I'm Fernando Ramirez. I cover the Chargers for the Sporting Tribune. With me, as always, my co-host, my tag team partner, Gilbert Manzano, covers the NFL for Sports Illustrated. What's up, bro?
What's up, Fernando? Yeah, we are here on Compas on the beat, but a special edition of Combat Compas because we're all in the fight game now that we got a video that went 1 million views. I'm gonna keep saying it, Fernando. Our video of Ryan Garcia shoving Devin Haney over 1 million views on YouTube. So I'm gonna keep saying that.
Where's our YouTube plaque? I want one. I see a
I
lot of
know.
people with those
Do you get
YouTube
a plaque
plaques.
for 1 million
No,
views for
I
a video?
I think you get it over 100,000 subscribers. I think that's
Oh, well, that's the
so that's
next step.
next. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we're here to talk a lot of combat sports. A lot is happening in the combat sports world. Not just the Ryan Garcia stuff, but obviously everything else kind of going on. Ngannou fights Joshua this weekend. Gilbert and
Yeah.
I kind of discussed it on Monday, and I think I opened Gilbert's eyes a little bit about, hey, you know what? It might not just be Joshua that takes this home. Ngannou might have a little bit of fight, so we'll get into that. UFC 299 from Miami. Sugar Sean O'Malley, everybody knows who that guy is. Awesome against Chito Vera. We'll see. That's number 2, by the way. So that's your second fight. So that'll be interesting. And then we'll get into maybe a tad bit of the Ryan stuff, and then a little bit of WWE. But just wanted to give you guys kind of a overview. But yeah, this weekend, Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou. Ngannou's 34 years old. Joshua's 31. They're kind of Joshua's taller, 6'6" against 6'4". But it's funny, Ngannou has a bigger reach, 83 to 82. So that's definitely interesting. And Gilbert, just right off the bat, just what are you kind of looking for in this fight from both Ngannou and Joshua?
Yeah, I gotta say, I am one of those I guess old school boxing people that gets annoyed with the crossover fights because it's been after McGregor and Mayweather did it, a bunch came through and it's okay. We don't care. Jake Paul fought over the weekend. I don't care. I did not. I don't even care about the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul
We're gonna
fight.
get into that. We're gonna get
Oh,
into
okay.
that.
Well, I don't care. But when Ngannou dropped Tyson Fury, and I'm like, oh, okay, we finally got somebody from the MMA world stepping into the boxing ring and can make damage. And he's always had the power. We know that from the UFC days. Beating a bunch of people, and obviously he's lost a couple MMA fights too as well. But that power makes him dangerous. So when he dropped Tyson Fury, I'm like, okay, Ngannou, you have my attention. That's the best boxer at the heavyweight division. You dropped him. I get it. The Tyson Fury has a suspect chin, but he caught him. You got my attention. And now to fight Anthony Joshua and Fernando, maybe it was my snobby biases for boxing, and I'm like, yeah, Anthony Joshua's gonna win, and I'm like, wait, Anthony Joshua lost to Andy Ruiz Jr. He's had a couple of losses already. He lost to Alexander Usyk, and I'm already forgetting. Was it twice? Yeah, I think it was twice. So uh,
Yeah.
he has struggled in the boxing world. He's still a star in the boxing world. The fighter from overseas in England. So Anthony Joshua has a lot on his plate, and if he loses his fight, would that be the end of Anthony Joshua when it comes to being a main event fighter?
Yeah, no, and that's the thing I was telling you, Gilbert, is that I'm not I don't know if he's gonna win this fight just because you saw Ngannou's very confident. Ngannou said this at the press conference, at the kickoff press conference, and I quote, "I'm getting prepared for a tough fight. Yes, the Tyson Fury fight was great, but that's now in the past, and now I have a new challenge in front of me, which I take even more serious now than I did before because I think there's something more on the line, probably the undisputed title. Let's see, maybe I can do something that nobody has done before. I believe I have the tools starting with a win against AJ. Gilbert, Tyson Fury and him kind of went at it during the press conference yesterday. So I thought that was pretty interesting that they kind of went back and forth, chirping and everything. But you kind of have to believe that. He has a good shot to upset Anthony Joshua, especially because, like you said, his chin isn't the strongest, and if Tyson Fury went down, that's an indication that, and we all know everybody was kind of in disbelief when Tyson Fury ended up winning that fight. So I was kind of in disbelief as well. But I think Ngannou has the tools to be able to upset Joshua, especially after what we've seen from Joshua in the past. Like you said, with Andy Ruiz, he decided to go blow for blow, couldn't get it done. So what did he do in the next fight? He went the Floyd Mayweather route. Bang, 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 jump back, bang, bang, like hit him a couple of times and jump back, hit him a couple of times, jump back, got the points, ended up winning that. And I mean, we all know Andy Ruiz is overweight. I told everybody before that fight because they're like, oh yeah, he's dropped about 10 to 15 pounds since that fight. I'm like, look, I've lied about my weight my whole life. I'm like, that guy does not look like he's dropped any weight. If anything, he looks heavier. So yeah, I think Ngannou, I know that right now Joshua's favored. I saw the odds; he's favored. But I'm telling you, I think I'd put my money on Ngannou.
Yeah, it depends on the odds. Like if Joshua is a heavy favorite, then I will put the money on Ngannou just because he has a chance. But if it's too close and maybe you make no money. But that's the thing you brought up, Fernando, with Joshua. He could either trade blows and be an exciting fighter. That's when he gets caught sometimes. But sometimes he's a little too reserved because he lost a fight and he has pressure and like he becomes a boring Anthony Joshua. So I'm hoping he takes his fight like, you know what, I'm gonna have fun with it. I don't have pressure on me. I'm here in Saudi Arabia. I'm getting paid a bunch of money here. That's why he took the fight. Let's be honest. It's not to help his
Oh,
boxing career.
100%.
Take the money and he took it. So I hope he has fun with it and starts to trade with Ngannou and just say, all right, I'm the boxer here. I'm a former heavyweight champion. He's not some old geezer out there who's past his prime. It's more like he wasn't as good as everybody made him seem. So he's still that same guy. So not a lot of boxing skills, a good power, some good combinations. But go ahead.
Do you know what time this fight starts?
Yeah, I looked it up. 10 a.m. Or that I don't know about ring walks, but the car starts 10 a.m. Pacific time. So we got to be up early on a Friday. Not too early, but still.
7:20 it starts here.
Oh, so the
So
ring.
let me
Maybe
look.
I saw the ring walks might have been 10 a.m. Pacific. So that's not too bad. But yeah, if the
10
whole
a.m.
car.
Pacific. Oh, okay, yeah, then that's probably it.
But again, it was hard for me to find the times out there. I did a quick Google search and it was all over the place. But specifically, I think ring walks might have been 10 a.m. Pacific, but I could be wrong. So any idea what time that would be live out there in Saudi Arabia? Is it
6
Saturday for
p.m.
them? 6 p.m.
I
on a
think it's
Friday?
6. No, hold on. Let me see.
'Cause
Let
I'm
me
like, why
see.
are we doing this on a Friday?
West Coast. Keep on talking, and I'll let you know.
Yeah, so I'm curious about the times, and it's throwing me off. It's on a Friday, but going back to the fight, Fernando, I just really hope Anthony Joshua takes it like a fun fight, and obviously it's a dangerous fight, but don't be afraid to lose again. He's already had a couple losses, like go and give Ngannou a fair shot to kind of prove himself. Obviously, with Tyson Fury, it's a little awkward. He's taller, a little more mobile, able to kind of move around a little bit, and made life difficult for Ngannou. But a lot of people thought Ngannou won the fight, and that
Yeah.
he was the one that was more aggressive, chasing Fury, and that's what Fury does, And he got caught, and it really led to some controversy at the end. With Ngannou and
So
Joshua, it could be like 4 or 5 rounds of just like chaos, and I'm all for that if that happens.
it'll be 6 p.m. Saudi Arabia time when the card starts.
Okay, so like
So
9 p.m. the main event.
yeah. So it'll probably be about 9:30. So yeah, it'll probably be about
Yeah.
9. No,
I
it'll
wonder,
probably be about 10. Yeah, you're right.
I
10
wonder I
a.m.
wonder
here.
why on a Friday, but whatever. But and that way you can focus
Well,
on UFC on
yeah.
Saturday.
That I think that they didn't want to compete against the UFC. I think because that card is very stacked. I mean, they were going to make the Dustin Poirier fight for the opening of 300 next month, but they decided no, let's stack up that Miami card. And so I'm just very surprised that they did it on a Friday, especially because Gilbert. I mean, normal people. I mean, you and I, yeah, we're at home or writing our stuff and doing stuff from home. Most people are at work, so like, what do they expect people to live stream in the office and stuff? I mean, that's when you get a little tap on your shoulder and they're like, "Hey, come over here with me."
Well,
So
maybe some people watching the live stream right now are doing that at work right now.
we definitely appreciate it. If you guys have any comments or questions or anything, make sure you guys let us know. We'll answer them. Gilbert obviously is a combat sport expert. I've become a little bit more ever since Gilbert and I started doing this. I've paid attention more and more. But yeah, Gilbert's the expert when it comes to that stuff. But what kind of way are you leaning with this fight?
It's tough, but I think Anthony Joshua obviously being, this is his area of expertise. When you call me a combat sports expert, I'm like, yeah, I know stuff, but I am more specialist on boxing. So same thing with Anthony Joshua. I think that's his bread and butter. And God, I'm sure he's been training his butt off the last year or two because it didn't work out with UFC, didn't get the contract that he wanted, and he probably saw, you know what, those boxing guys, they make a lot of money. I got some pop. I'm gonna go train. So we'll see where he is in terms of that point. But Anthony Joshua has been in big time fights. I still remember his entertaining battle against Klitschko. Obviously, he lost the first Ruiz fight, but Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua, one of the memorable fights in the heavyweight division, and the heavyweight division has been so quiet. Besides that fight, there, that's one that goes down in history. Obviously, we still got the Wilder and Fury trilogy, but Ruiz and Joshua put on a show that first time around. So big time moments. He knows how to, compete in title fights, and Ngannou is still very new. So I will lean Joshua to win, but I'll pull up the odds in a bit. But if the odds are like really like heavy favorite for Anthony Joshua, I wouldn't mind putting some money on Ngannou.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, especially because I like Ngannou a lot. Especially like I told you after this, Gilbert. Look at this. This is amazing stuff right here. Boom.
I will not do that.
I look at the way he crumbles. I
Like,
mean, and any normal person would too, but
but you know how it works. So it's kind of like a delay reaction. So he's already expecting the
yeah,
worst, and then he just sits down like, okay, here it comes. It's like, ah, and it's
yeah,
like you
no,
just got just like imagine those 2 seconds of waiting for that hit to come through. It's like, oh, so uneasy.
ugh. No, I can do that, but yeah, I'm gonna lean with Ngannou. I think I really was impressed with everything that he did during the Tyson Fury fight, and I feel like he's gonna build off on that. And we know he's with that new promotion that's with Jake Paul as well, right?
Ngannou?
Yeah, isn't he
Uh, I'm
with
not
that
too sure.
promotion?
He might be.
Okay,
Yeah, I gotta look into that.
okay, I thought he
But
was
but
with
they're
that
all,
promotion,
but
but
they're all working with the zone, so maybe that
yeah.
could be the connection there.
Maybe Ngannou starts doing this, and maybe he find like he said, maybe he finds something here where maybe he can build off on and ultimately fight for champion. I just think I mean, he's a freak of nature, but he's 34 years old. He's up there, 30 something, 34. It might be a little bit tough, but man, can like Gilbert, what would a loss do for Anthony Joshua? Because we know Ngannou, I mean, he took the Fury one and people still want to watch him, but what would a loss do for Joshua?
Not much, and there's not much to be gained besides a bunch of money. So because the entire heavyweight division is waiting for Fury to fight against Alexander Usyk because that would be the undisputed battle for the heavyweight, all the belts in the heavyweight division. So I forget. I think Fury has one belt, and then Usyk has three of them. And at one point, Joshua had three of those belts too, and it's supposed to be Joshua versus Fury for undisputed, and obviously Usyk beat Joshua, and here we are today. So we're all waiting for that fight, and we were supposed to get Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk in February, and something happened, and now it's gonna happen in
I think
April.
he hurt his wrist or something.
Yeah, so and it kind of felt like that fight was just kind of crept up out of nowhere, and I'm no, we're not ready for it. So I kind of like the April. I forget what day is it. The same day as Haney and Garcia, like in the morning or something. I don't know,
I'll let you know.
but that's where we are right now. And so if Joshua wins, I don't think he's gonna get a title fight. If Joshua loses, there's not really much to be done. And then we were supposed to see, this is why he took the money fight, because he was running out of options. Remember, Wilder was supposed to fight Joshua,
Oh
and then
yeah.
Wilder didn't do too well, so that didn't work out. And for like I remember like in 2018, Fernando, we were all excited for potentially a showdown between Fury and Wilder, and then both of those guys, their career has kind of been going south. But I think more on Joshua's side than in Wilder, because Wilder at least got the 3 fights with Fury. But yeah, I don't know. I think there was more like, you know what, let me have fun with it and take some money.
So he was sparring with Croatian boxer Agron Smakic. Smakisi, and he opened up a gash above his right eye, and that required 11 stitches. So they decided to postpone it, and the fight has been postponed now to May 18th.
Oh, man. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Well, we have
So,
hopefully Ryan Garcia is okay and he fights Seven Haney in April. We have the first PBC card on Amazon Prime in March, March 30th,
oh
right?
yeah,
Keith Thurman, who I think about might speak with reporters in a bit. Keith Thurman versus Tim Zhu, who we had on the show. Check out the interview with Tim Zhu, Rolly Romero, and Pitbull Cruz. We had Rolly on the show too. Check out the interview. But we have that in March. We have April. Then we have May with Fury and Usyk.
yeah. There's a lot of, and then
Oh, and
Canelo
Canelo, I was gonna
also.
say,
Yeah,
whenever
yeah,
he
yeah.
picks an opponent, Canelo will have a fight.
Does he still have enough time to do
I don't know,
camp and
Fernando,
everything?
but this has happened before with Canelo. Like I hate that he's not consistent with the Cinco de Mayo and September dates and whatever. He works off his own schedule. I get that you're your own person, but I remember a couple of years ago he couldn't find an opponent and he didn't fight in May, and he might have fought like something weird. Like he fought like in February, he fought in September, and he fought in December. So he kind of has been all over the place. But I remember it's been a couple times. One of his fights for Triple G against Canelo was supposed to be on Cinco de Mayo, and then he popped for the what's it
Oh
called,
yeah,
Clenbuterol.
tainted
And yeah,
tainted meat.
so there was like no big Cinco de Mayo fight.
I wonder who he's gonna fight, but because UFC's kind of taken over that September, the Mexican Independent,
They're,
the real Mexican
they're
Independence.
pushing for it. Yeah,
Dude, it's gonna be in the Sphere. That UFC card, the one in Mexican Independence Day weekend, it's gonna be inside the Sphere,
yeah.
and I guess
It,
Connor tweeted out that he's pushing a fight in that
oh
one.
yeah. We'll see, but if it wasn't football season, I would have maybe pushed to be there. But you never know.
Hey, I mean, it's a Saturday. We could be back by Sunday morning, go straight to the stadium. I mean, who knows? But I mean, especially if Connor's there, like you've told me before, that a Connor fight, like there's nothing like it. The atmosphere. I mean, there's a reason why, and it's funny because right now when we get into Sugar Shane O'Malley, he was on the PBD podcast and he spoke a lot about that. And he's like, dude, there's a reason why Connor, out of the last, like, I think he said 10 years, Connor has 7 of the biggest pay per views. He's been on the card where it's the biggest pay per views. There's a reason for it, and it's because
Yeah.
he's a huge draw. So, but I mean, the dude has so much
Yeah.
money. But
It's been a
Jorge's,
long time. But yeah, go ahead.
yeah, Jorge's asking, is Ryan okay?
Shout out to you, Jorge. A lot of people are asking that question. Even some of my family members are asking me because we've had him on the show. Like, hey, like I text a guy every day or whatever. But yeah, we've had him on the show, and I don't know what to say, Jorge, because like part of me is like maybe he's just promoting the fight heavily, and he's kind of going a little overboard, and it's like, all right, dude, like chill out with the promoting, or maybe he does need serious help. And the last thing we should be thinking about if he does need serious help is him fighting in April. So you also kind of feel for Devin Haney, like what the hell is going on here? Like, am I gonna have a fight or not? But I guess he's gonna have a backup, but it won't be the same, if he fights Arno Barbosa Jr. So I don't know. It's tough to tell unless you really know the way his mind works for Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, Jorge, you're right. He did seem normal, Gilbert, when we talked to him. I mean, he was chilled out. So I think it is promotion. The only thing is, and Steve Kim said this on the JB show. He's like, "You're a mental health." Steve Kim is obviously a boxing guy, but you're a mental health advocate. And you're kind of going this route for this kind of stuff. Like, you may want to chill out a little bit because then people are really going to start questioning stuff. Because, like Jorge said, he seemed normal when we talked to him. Jorge, that's for a different podcast on a different platform,
Yeah.
something else. Because we're not gonna get into all that, but
Yeah, maybe he's taking Drake May's conspiracy class. Right? Remember, he said at the
yeah,
combine he took
yeah.
a conspiracy theories class, and yeah.
Well, remember, there's a guy that doesn't believe in space, a tight
Oh
end
yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
in the draft. He said he didn't
Apparently,
believe in space.
birds on Rio, and you've never seen a baby pigeon. So I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a bunch of stuff that's come out, but yeah, maybe he really is just promoting because he said he's like, I'm done talking about this stuff. All I'm going to talk about is sports, boxing, and my fight on April 20th. He keeps on saying that he is going full force with this fight, but Gilbert, how is there a grace period, or can he really pull out? Like, if that
Well,
Thursday before the fight, could he say, "Oh, I'm not going to do it"?
I get. I don't know. It's tough because right now you're trying to sell tickets too. Like, imagine you want to buy tickets or go. Like, it's already bad that people who are on the West Coast thinking it's gonna be in Vegas, and then like, oh no, it's gonna be in Brooklyn, and you're trying to get a plane ticket, you're trying to get a hotel. Like, I wouldn't put my money on the line and trust Ryan Garcia right now. Uh, yeah, there you go. Jorge Harbaugh to the Chargers was conspiracy until it wasn't. So, hey, sometimes you know how it is, kids nowadays. I like to age myself, as you know, Jorge. They like to, see what's out there and kind of test some theories out there. So I don't know, but the point is, it's if you're the promoters at Oscar De La Hoya or DAZN or whoever's a part of this fight, you're probably like, man, like, can we just sell the tickets, do a sellout, and then you can kind of do your wild conspiracy theories. But I'm sure Ryan Garcia wants to get paid too, Fernando. So he's gonna chill out eventually.
Jorge wants to live in a world where Dan and Dago is the leader of that world. I'm sure that's what Jorge would want.
Hey, Dan's a lot of things, but he's not out there when it comes to theories. So
no. Dan just out there. You know what's funny? Jeff Miller texted me. He's our compa, really amazing beat writer, amazing guy. He texted me. He's like, dude, Daniel fired me up. And I'm like, really? He's like, I saw him with that cheat. I'm like, no way. Did he really? Yeah, he said he watched it. He's like, no way. Is he really like, he likes Mahomes now? He's like, everything I've heard from him. He's like, and then he starts taking off the jacket. He's like, greatest thing ever. He's like, that guy needs to be like, on like he needs to be seen by many more people. And I just started laughing.
We gotta have Dan on Combat Compas, because you can say a lot more in the world of combat sports. You can
that's true. That's true. You know what's funny? That's what I guess I didn't know that before I went to that Ryan Garcia press conference. So when I was there, like, people were like, yeah, dude, it's boxing. Like, there's no rules here. And I'm like, wow, I wish I would have known that. Like, I didn't know any of that stuff. But speaking of which, did you see
I have not. But you're talking about Stephen A. Smith and Pat McAfee? I have not seen it.
I guess he called him a mofo, Pat, Stephen A. So I was like, dang. Like, I guess there was creative differences.
Right. It's gonna be a celebrity boxing match now between Stephen A. and Pat McAfee. Promoted by Jake Paul Promotions.
Yeah, no, he'd torch him. But the Ryan Garcia stuff, Gilbert, let's just talk only about the fight. But I'm really interested about that fight, just because I really feel like if Devin Haney's the one that's like down the line, he's fine. And Ryan's kind of going through this stuff. I'm kind of wondering where Ryan's headspace is at. And I'm sorry, Ryan, but these are going to be the questions leading up to the fight. When when whoever does your Showtime's not there anymore.
DAZN.
Whoever does when DAZN does a hype up video for these, when they follow you around, those are going to be the questions that you're going to be asked all week leading up to that fight in Brooklyn. This is all you're going to be asked about. So you kind of open Pandora's box in a sense. And I don't want to hear like, why are you guys keep on asking me about this stuff? Why are you guys sweating me? Why are you guys doing this, bro? With all your tweets and that you were at Bohemian Grove and all that weirdo stuff, like, people are going to ask you about all this crap. So I hope you open Pandora's box, because that's all you're going to be asked about leading up to this fight.
Look at us. We were asking him like about his poll about fighting Rolly Romero or Devin Haney. I'm sure,
bro, that was hilarious.
But you're the one that kind of made it a news. You said Mayweather told you something. So we asked. Now, I don't know if we're going to ask about all that kind of wild stuff, but people are going to ask. And real quick, Fernando, I know it's a little random, but DAZN's gonna have Ngannou and Joshua on Friday, and they're trying to have Haney and Garcia. So, I wonder if people are gonna start finally subscribing to DAZN. Maybe that's supposed to be the next best thing. And you were talking about HBO and Showtime, and DAZN's here having a couple good fights out of nowhere. So many people are gonna start buying for it. I don't think it's worth the price on what they've been putting out lately, but those two fights right there, those cards,
DAZN was good when it was $20 a month. People were like, oh, hell yeah, I'll do this. Bro, WWE does it perfectly. I'm sorry, but WWE does it perfectly. Remember, stuff is high right now. This, prices, all this stuff. Why not be smart and do $20 a month, and you get all this free content? Do this. Jorge, I ain't going to put it up there, but
there's a couple apps there, Jorge, that we know of.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But that's the problem, though, Gilbert. Like, WWE, you don't need to do all that stuff. You can just pay the NBC app, the Peacock, and you can watch it on the cock, and you're gonna be fine on there watching that kind of streaming and stuff. And it doesn't cost anymore. Then not just you have everything that comes on Peacock plus games plus all this other stuff. So I really don't understand. Wow, the Tyrann Mathieu they got him for cheap. I
Resigning.
really think 2 years, 13 million. That's
Well,
chump
they
change.
needed it. They have a bunch of salary cap
Yeah,
problems.
yeah, 100%. But Gilbert, that's the thing that you exactly,
It's
Jorge. I
combat
did.
sports. You can say a little
It's
more.
combat sports. But Gilbert, it just really I feel like WWE's done it well. I think that's where boxing and UFC should start heading toward. I think they need to do something similar. I'm not saying have them completely cheap, but like Dana, come on, bro. Like $70 per UFC fight. Like not people are not gonna pay that stuff. And that's why people stream it, just like Jorge said.
You know, I'll say this for a second. I thought Amazon Prime was gonna do it right. Well, like everybody has Prime already. Like you might not watch everything on it, but you have it for the free shipping, right? So we all have
What
Prime.
did they say?
Uh, for what? For the
Are they just gonna be $70?
Oh no, I was just gonna set it up. I was gonna say I thought they're
Oh,
gonna have it. They have it. They had it right. Like, oh, you already have Prime. Just turn on the freaking Prime channel because you already have it for Thursday Night Football, and the fight is on. Like, you already have it. Cool. Now it's like you mentioned, Fernando. Like, it's gonna charge you another $70 to $80 for the pay-per-view. I'm like, that's the
yeah.
same old crap that we're doing. Like, and I like the card Thurman and Tim Zoo and Rolly Romero and Pitbull Cruz. But for pay per view, I think I'm gonna be using one of those Jorge apps that he was talking about to stream. So, but I thought Prime was gonna do it the right. I'm intrigued to see how Prime's gonna do it for their first boxing card. For now, I told you the other day, I even watched the Netflix tennis special just to see how they're gonna do live sports because we saw the Tyson and Jake Paul fight not being announced. We saw WWE Raw going to Netflix. So all these streaming providers, they're smart. They're trying to get into live sports and you're the zone over there. You were the first of your kind, and you messed it up. So there's different options too. Like you mentioned, the Peacock. I'll say that has a right too.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. And that's the thing that, like we said, we're leading up to it. Amazon Prime has a really good card coming up with, like you mentioned, Raleigh Romero, Isaac Pitbull Cruz, all these guys. It's gonna be really good, but the thing is gonna be the price. Like, what are you gonna charge for it, or is it just gonna be a part of it? Like the Jake Paul, uh he said, "Damn, never mind. Just realized it sounds like an OnlyFans page. Take it back." Uh, he, but
They'll
uh,
promote a fight soon enough. You know it.
well, yeah, no, but Netflix just did Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, and now the
Yeah.
questions are: is that going to
Oh
be
yeah.
like? Are
It
you going to have
better.
to pay extra? Like,
Hey,
is it
when
just a part
Rafael
of it?
Nadal on the tennis was free, so can you keep having
Yeah,
it free? Like same thing
yeah,
with Raw.
exactly.
Raw will be free, right? It'll be part of the package, right?
Yeah. Raw is going to be a part of the package. So, oh my god, that sounded really bad.
No, Raw. Yeah.
Jorge's going to call me out on that one.
Raw's gonna be
But
part of the package on the cock. There you go.
hey, it is a part of USA Today or USA network, so and NBC. So you're 100% right. Just real quick before we get into the UFC stuff, since we are talking boxing, I'm wondering if you saw this, Gilbert, you're gonna get a kick out of it. Well, let me go back to this, but like I just mentioned, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. I don't know if you saw this, but look at this.
You heard it right, mother. I'm fighting Mike Tyson.
Oh man, I can't wait for the night of the 20th.
Man, you know what? The more I think about it, this freaking guy, he might have me interested because obviously if it's Mike Tyson and Tyson Fury, Mike Tyson in his prime, or even like a few years after his prime, is gonna whoop Jake Paul. But like he's like 60 years old against Jake Paul, who's not a real fighter. I want to see if Mike Tyson could whoop his ass. He might need an ass kicking. So if it's free
Bro,
on the Netflix, I will watch it. How about that?
why not? Why don't we just go?
Where is it?
Dallas,
What day?
a week before training camp.
Oh, it's in July.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see how we're doing on Compas on the
Yeah,
Beat.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe we're 100K subscribers. We get a plaque from YouTube, and we're making money.
I honestly, just because it's the first time that Netflix is going to be doing something like this, it'd be interesting to see in person what all this is going to be, how it's all going to be. I'm going to say it right now, and I think I'll catch some flack for this. Don't be surprised if Mike Tyson beats Jake Paul.
Don't be surprised if it looks ugly because he's just too old. And it's like when Shawn Michaels had to beat up Ric Flair. Like I don't
I
want to see
wonder if
that
there's going to
either.
be. I wonder if there's going to be a KO contract or a clause in the contract.
I don't know. I don't want to see Mike
If
Tyson go down
if
to
Mike
Jake Paul.
if Mike Tyson hits him with one,
Dude, but he's old. He could barely move.
I know, but I'm telling you, if he catches him with one, I'm telling you, bro. Like, oh, here we go. David Benavidez has said he's willing to accept. Oh, we already talked about this.
Oh,
A
the
deal to
split?
fight Canelo that would have seen him. No, there you go. Somebody else agrees with me. I think.
On
That,
what
or
was it
maybe
about?
it's you.
On
Maybe it's
what?
you. I don't know. I don't know if he's talking about. Because I said, don't be surprised if Mike Tyson knocks him out.
Oh,
But I don't know if he's saying that he's like with you that he doesn't want to see Jake Paul. Oh yeah. There you go. He's with me.
oh, okay.
He's like
No,
Iron Mike about to knock him out.
Andrew, I want to be the third, but he's old, and I want to
Jorge's a
see
third.
it. I want.
Jorge's a third.
Okay, all right, whatever. Mike Tyson, who's like 65 years old, is gonna knock
Bro,
out
did you not
Jake
see what he
Paul.
did to Allen in The Hangover? Didn't you see what he did to Allen in The Hangover? He just wham, and then Allen goes down.
I don't know, but I'm trying to like
So-
give Jake Paul some respect here. He has been training. He's in his 20s, but whatever. Yeah, but I don't want to see Mike Tyson go out, like being knocked out by a YouTuber. Okay, I don't want
Bro,
to
we
see that
have a
either.
senior citizen going up against like a college student. Like this is the funniest stuff in the world.
It's like a Jackass kind of show.
Dang, Gilbert, we gotta work on your
Okay,
optimism.
I'm
and
sorry.
you
I'm
gotta
sorry. I'm
sit
trying to
on
be
this.
optimistic here, but Jorge and Andrew, I want to see Mike Tyson knock out Jake Paul, and it's gonna happen. Fine.
You know, it's funny. Tommy Fury just came out and said he wants Jake Paul again in the ring, and and then they announced this. I'm like, bro, what are you guys doing? Like, this is just it's what you said. But the thing is, Gilbert, and I'm gonna be honest. You remember who started all this? WWE started this with like bringing in boxers, bringing in celebrities. They wrestle, they do all this other stuff. So I kind of feel like everybody's picked up on it. I mean, I know we saw back during Rocky 3, Hulk Hogan and Rocky Balboa and everything, but like it kind of feels like little by little it's kind of grown, and now it's grown into this massive thing where now everybody wants to fight. I mean, Becky Lynch said it the other day, WWE star Becky Lynch. It's not a matter of if we're going to see Conor McGregor, it's when we're going to see him in WWE. So, but the only thing is, I think they'd have to wait till he gets to they get to Netflix, because he's not going to throw out. He's going to throw out F-bombs. And he's going to
I
say
think
some
we're
stuff.
waiting for McGregor to drop his movie with Jake Gyllenhaal, Roadhouse.
can't
I feel
wait.
like that movie's been done for the last 4 years, and they're barely
I
going to
know.
drop it. So I think they're waiting for Conor McGregor to have a fight to promote the fight. And I mean, the movie is kind of like he's never going to fight. Just drop the freaking movie.
There was something that just happened, right? Somebody sued Jake Gyllenhaal or something happened with that movie. I think there was something in the news,
because
but
of the remake or what?
yeah, I think there was something. Wow, okay. I thought it would be me that would be in WWE, but I guess
Well, I'll
Jorge,
be
can
part
you
of
imagine?
the new Latino world order.
I know Jorge thinks that Dan and Dago should be in WWE. I think he'd
He'll be a Paul
interesting there.
Heyman kind of
Oh,
type.
there you go. He already said it. He's like JK, but Dan would be awesome. But Gilbert, just going off of that, obviously the Mike Tyson stuff on that PBD podcast, Sean O'Malley. I wish I could play the clip, but I don't want to get hit with anything or YouTube strike us for it. So he's like, so PBD asked him, hey, so it's Patrick Bet David. He's like, so who do you watch, or like, do you watch boxing? He's like, no, but I need to stop talking shit because I keep on like calling out all these boxers. I've called out Tank Davis. I've called out Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, all these guys. Like I call out all these guys. Teofimo Lopez, I guess he's called out too. He's like, I keep on telling these fools, yeah, I'll knock you guys out. Yeah, I would knock you guys out. And I'm and then he's like, have you watched any of those fights? And he's like, no, I haven't, but I think I should start. If not, one of these guys really is going to call me out on my shit, and they are going to knock me out. So he said he watched Gervonta Davis versus
Garcia.
Ryan Garcia, but he said that he thinks boxing doesn't move the needle the way the UFC does. He's like, especially with all these fights, he's like, you're gonna get mad. But he said the only thing I'll watch is if like Logan Paul and Jake Paul are fighting. Yeah, I'll watch those, but I don't watch anything else because all
I
the
think
other
Mike
fights
was
are
already
boring.
promoting his fight. He knew in the back of his mind he's gonna fight Jake Paul.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, but I want to see if Sugar Shane O'Malley fights one of these boxers. I think that'd be really interesting leading up to that.
I
But
don't know. I get tired of these crossover fights, but maybe that's a good segue. Sean O'Malley
yeah.
needs to first fight and beat Chito Vera there because he lost him the first time around. But
So he said he doesn't see that as a loss. He said that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's like, go back and look. He said that the kick. So there's a kick about with like about a minute and 30 or 2 minutes left in the round, where Chito hits him in the leg, and he said, I got dead leg. He's like, the nerve, like it messed me up on my leg. I couldn't feel anything. He's like, if you watch me, I'm kind of bouncing up and down on one leg, and then he kind of knocked me over, and then he got on top of me, and the referee just let it go or just stop the fight there. And so he said that he feels like in this time around it's going to be completely different. He's like, look, maybe for my career it was better that I didn't beat Chito. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
They might have thrown me into the main card. I might have not been ready. He's like, and ever since that fight, I've gone and I've fought other guys. I've done other stuff. So necessarily that might have been the best thing for my career because, I mean, we all know that Sugar Sean O'Malley's only lost one fight, and that was at Chito Vera one. Other than that, he's been good. He's 17-1, and he had one that was no contest.
17-1-1, right? Yeah.
Yeah. He beat Sterling for the championship in Boston on August 19th. He beat Peter Yan, and then he had that no contest with Pedro Munoz. And then, but before that, he was on a 3 fight winning streak after that Vera fight. So, Gilbert, just what do you kind of see from both of these guys?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the beauty about UFC. Obviously, they kind of own everything and they control everything, and that kind of sucks sometimes for UFC fighters. Like boxing, there's money to be made because people are fighting for your services. Come over here to Prime or Fox or Showtime or HBO, whatever the hell it is now, DAZN. What else is out there? ESPN. Like they fight for your services. UFC controls everything. But the beauty about having everything under one shop is you got to fight each other. And it doesn't matter if you take a loss. And when he lost to Vera, like, did it hurt his career? No, it actually put him in a better spot. Like he was saying, fought Aljo Sterling and became the bantamweight champion in the UFC. And now you come back and you take care of business for a nice storyline. This could have been a main event for UFC 300 because they took a while to get a main event there. But
yeah,
it's a good main event. It's a good card. So you fight a bunch of people. And it doesn't matter if you take a loss. And this guy lost, and he became a champion on the same year. So that's pretty cool on O'Malley's part, especially because he's supposed to be like the next Conor McGregor. He hasn't really gotten to that point, but he's still going to be a heavy draw. And I think this fight's in Miami, right, Fernando?
It is in Miami.
So we'll see how they do it. It's a good crowd. And it's a good environment. Can he be a seller? Can he be a draw? It's gonna be a lot of pressure on O'Malley, but it was cool how it worked out for him. Like he had a loss. It's okay. You fought somebody good. You go back and you beat another a dominant champion in Aljamain Sterling. So it worked out for him very nicely.
Our boy Manuk just interviewed Sugar Shane O'Malley a couple of days ago. But
he's always getting those nice one-on-one interviews. Shout out to him.
Yeah. No, we talked about it when we were at the Ryan Garcia event. It's funny, Jorge. Speaking of the Peter Yan, he actually said that was his hardest fight up to date. He said that was a very hard fight and that it took him all the way to the end. So, what's funny is that how most fighters, they say after they lost, like, oh, it haunts me. I still like Jim Harbaugh. He said it still haunts me that I lost that Super Bowl and I want it. O'Malley was like, yeah, no, I mean, he's like, it's not a loss that like it comes back to me and I'm like, oh, I get angry about it. No, I'm cool. I'm good going into this. So I really think that O'Malley, he's in a good space. He seems very relaxed. I think they asked him what fight just happened. They asked him if he watched a fight recently or something. He's like, no, I was getting my hair done. Oh, the UFC card in Mexico City. They PBD asked him, "Did you watch that card?" He's like, "Hell no, I was getting my hair done." And then he's like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm not a UFC fan." He's like, "I won't watch. Like, if it's a big fight, I'll watch. But if it's not, I don't care." I'm like, "Wow, this guy really is even keel. He's not really like you know how most guys are really out there. He just seems like
Yeah.
he's really relaxed."
Yeah, he knows how to sell a fight too. Like he doesn't go over the top, and he's still a marketable fighter. And yeah, Jorge, you're right. Like he did fight Peter Yan, who was kind of a lot of fighters didn't want to fight him, back then. And I forgot that he's actually on the card too. Peter Yan's fighting
Yeah.
Song Yadong. Am I saying that right?
Yep.
They're gonna start their pay-per-view card, so you have him on there too. And yeah, it's the weed, guys. Yeah, it keeps you chill, but also a little talkative, and that's what you want. Maybe that's what you need in the fight game. Now that's legalized in combat sports. I think I forget where. Or it depends on what commission you're
Yeah.
gonna participate in. But he has
Yeah,
a nice way
exactly.
about it. You got to fight, you got to promote, but you also got to be in the right headspace and also be in the gym training.
So he said that Chito Vera, his biggest thing is because they asked him, what do you think it is about him? He's like, look, that guy's conditioning is nuts. Like that guy can go the whole 5 rounds and he won't get gas. So he said that that's going to be the biggest part about this fight is that he needs to go stride for stride basically with him and not get gas, not get tired and just keep on going. And it's funny. PBD actually asked him, hey, if like you retired right now, would you be sad? He's like, yeah, dude. He's like, so this is what I found funny. He's like, so my sister's a real estate agent. She just got her license a couple of months ago, and I bought 6 homes right off of her. So I'm her number one client. And he's like, really? He's like, yeah, I pay her the money. She gets me the homes. She gets a little bit of money. So there you go. I mean, it's a little bit of a family business. But he said he has 6 houses where he just wants to, and he has a compound, I guess, of like 5 acres. He wants to make it into 9 acres and kind of build a master duplex for him and his family or all that stuff. But yeah, it just seems so even keel and everything. But this Chito Vera fight is going to be huge because it's his first title defense. So
Yeah,
I'm definitely interested to see Jorge. How does what Gilbert does what? How do you do that, Gilbert? What is he talking about?
he was talking about the weed balance in your life.
Oh,
But, yeah, it is combat sports, but I won't give away too much of my personal life.
there you go.
But yeah, no, it's going to be an interesting fight. And Fernando, I think for him to go and fight Aljamain Sterling, I think it really put it in his head. Like, you know what? I am one of the best. I am confident. I could beat this guy. Wasn't beating, he fought Cejudo before that, and he beat Cejudo. Remember, it was a kind of a big draw fight because coming out of retirement, nobody was respecting Sterling. And Sterling, I think he had a couple title defenses, and he was a top dog. And then here comes Sean O'Malley, and he beats him. So maybe he takes care of Vera. Maybe gets a rematch with Sterling. Who knows? But O'Malley has a great opportunity. Dropping clues. He has a great opportunity to keep becoming a bigger fighter. Obviously, no one can really reach that Conor McGregor level. Like, you got to really, like, I don't know, like that. It just doesn't happen all the time. But you could definitely build up your profile and become one of the stars in the UFC.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. The crazy part is that what's his name said that he would like to fight Ilya
Topuria.
Topuria next. Yeah. And he's like, oh, I
Who
would love
said
to
that?
fight
You
him
said
next or whatever.
O'Malley?
O'Malley
Oh,
said he'd
wow.
love to take him on.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
You have to go up a weight class,
So
right?
and you'd have to go to like Spain or something like that. So, well, because that's where they're going to fight at the
Yeah.
Santiago Bernabeu. So,
That'd be
so it'd
cool.
be interesting. But yeah, he said that that's the next fight that he wants to do, but obviously he's not overlooking Cheeto, but that's going to be interesting to see. But then you kind of who you got there? I got O'Malley.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I think O'Malley got some experience, and it was a pretty close fight, and he was maybe caught in the wrong, I guess, situation there with Vera. So I see O'Malley, winning that fight, and to answer your question, Jorge Volkanovski, man, I guess he got caught by Father Time. Remember, he was making fun of the whole age thing, and people calling him old.
Yeah,
Old, and I don't know, maybe taking that fight in Abu Dhabi. I'm blanking on the name, but the champion at the lightweight division. He took the fight on short notice, short time's notice. He lost that one, then comes back and tries to fight Topuria, and he lost too. So I don't know. I think he's still a good fighter, but him being a champion might take him a while to come back to that part, and then to that area. And when you're 35 years old, it's not easy.
he lost to Islam.
Yeah, Eastland. There you go.
Yeah. So no, Gilbert, I think this card, Dustin Poirier obviously is also fighting. He's man, I'll tell you what, he's fighting a tank when it comes to Benoit Saint Denis, if I said that right.
Let me see.
I think that's his his name.
Saint Denis, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Denis.
So Poyer's come off of losing to Justin Gaethje. He beat Chandler, and then he lost to Oliveira before beating Conor McGregor twice. So I don't know. Dustin kind of needs this fight. I don't know what you think. I think he kind of needs this to bounce back. But the dude that he's facing, he's on a five match win streak in Benoit. So this could be tough for him.
Yeah, this could be a very exciting fight, and Poirier's one of these guys that doesn't care about record. He wants to have a good fight. Obviously, he wants to be a champion, and that's kind of been an issue for him. But being older and having a lot of good fights, I want to see Poirier do well, but I think there's Saint Denis. Like you mentioned, five fight winning streak. He could be the guy there.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. But Gilbert, that UFC 299 is going to be a good one. O'Malley gave it away that Joe Burrow will be in attendance.
Oh yeah,
and so Joe Burrow means Nick Bosa.
I was gonna say they're like best friends, and they both love UFC.
The Bosa brothers and Burrow like all that stuff. So I think it's a stacked card, Gilbert. I'm really excited about it, and obviously there's a lot of good coming out of it. But I wanted to show you real quick. Did you see the skit that O'Malley did or no?
I don't think so.
Oh, I hope you don't kill me for this one, but this is him doing this, not me.
One, action.
We're in debt for betting, brother.
Oscar, I think I could fuck Sugar Sean up, honestly.
You could fight MMA. You could beat whoever you want. You could beat John Jones.
I seriously think I could wrestle.
Wrestle your security guard. Show him. Prove him. You're an athlete. You're a natural. You can do whatever, brother. Let's get it on. Hold on. Fuck, I'll fight Dana. Yeah. Whoa. Let's go on Ariel's show, brother.
Yeah, I'm going on Ariel.
Call one.
You talking about Ryan Garcia?
Yeah, so Ryan Garcia went on Ariel Helwani's show, and he said I could beat him in a UFC fight. Like he's like, I want to fight him in the cage. I've already contacted Dana, and Dana and Oscar have kind of a back and forth where Oscar's been like, I could knock you out. So they were making fun of him, and they were like, yeah, no, I could totally knock him out. I could knock him out and all this stuff. So that was just kind of their skill. And then Ryan said that his security guard, we've seen him, Gilbert. We've seen the security guard, that he's a jiu-jitsu guy, and he's like, I made him tap out. And I'm like, there's no way. There's no way you did. He said that, and they did a kind of an MMA thing, and that
because you're the boss. You're paying him, so he's gonna like, okay, good, sir. There, you won.
Yeah. So it's just a shit show, Gilbert. I mean, honestly, I was just like, I'm like, really, Ryan? Come on, dude. You couldn't beat him in the cage. Like in boxing, maybe you have a shot, but I may give Sugar Sean a kind of a fighting chance in that one. But yeah, that was a skit, and I heard it, and I'm like, oh my god, this is comedy at its finest.
Yeah, that's Ryan Garcia promoting heavily. He wants to get people from the MMA world talking, maybe pro wrestling talking, a bunch of people talking to go fight. To go watch on April 20th him against Devin Haney. But yeah, if Ryan Garcia goes to MMA, it'll be interesting. But obviously, he'll get his ass whooped if he's MMA. If O'Malley goes to boxing, Ryan Garcia will give him that work in boxing.
Do a 2-fight thing. Do one in each person's. That'd be a. But yeah, you don't want to fight. I mean,
yeah,
Ryan, you've never experienced guys being able to take you down to the ground or like use their legs, so that's gonna destroy you. But a lot of good combat sports this weekend. Obviously, like we said, we have WrestleMania coming up, Ryan Garcia, UFC 300. There's a lot of stuff going on, so we'll be tackling all this stuff, jumping on it. But anything else about this weekend, Gilbert, that you're interested in?
No, we got it covered. I guess I'll be up early on Friday to watch Ngannou and Joshua. I think Joshua will win, but Ngannou's going to make it interesting. And obviously we'll watch UFC 299 on Saturday. But And then we have the fight card on Prime on March 30th. But I'm waiting for April, Fernando. You know, once we get to April and it's WrestleMania, it's UFC 300, Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia. If Ryan Garcia makes it there, it should be a very loaded April card there, or 3 cards.
Do you know Bakari?
I do not. Little Axie, let us know.
Yeah, let us know who that is. But yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff going on. Obviously, The Rock's back in wrestling. He might jump into the ring. There's a lot of stuff going on right now, so we're definitely going to be on top of it. NFL free agency, we're going to be on top of. Go check out House of Horns. These guys jumped on and talked about free agency yesterday. Dan and I are kind of waiting to see what happens with all the Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, Keenan Allen, and Mike Williams stuff. By the way, Stevie Johnson Gilbert went on Twitter and they asked, "Oh, Buffalo Bills, who do you guys want as a receiver to add to our offense?" Somebody tweeted that out, and he put Keenan Allen. After Keenan Allen wins the Super Bowl this year with the Chargers, the Bills need to go get him so he can help them win a Super Bowl. And I started laughing.
Yeah,
I was like, "Wow."
I looked him up. By the way, Bakari Samaki, 15-0 from France, 8 KOs, 20 years old. So I'll keep him on my radar. Thank you for mentioning him, and I'll see what he does in his career. And I think he fought last month, so we'll see what his next fight is. But I'm always one of those boxing guys that likes to learn about up and comers, and I definitely like going to small cards, Fernando. Like some of these like low key cards, and some of the best fights happen, and you hear the parents and the supporters just cheering. So I'll keep them on my radar. Thank you.
Well, you remember when we went to Andy Ruiz's fight? I think it was like 2 years ago. Wow, it's been 2 years since he fought. 2 years ago, and at the Staples Center. Remember, we saw Pitbull Cruz. He was the fight before Andy Ruiz, and Pitbull Cruz had the crowd going. Like people in the crowd were excited. Like I remember, I put a TikTok of both of them, and the Pitbull Cruz one went crazy. And the Andy Ruiz one did all right, but I was like, damn, I'm like, all right, that's definitely interesting. So, but yeah, no, definitely a lot of fun stuff, Gilbert. I'm sorry you're gonna have to wake up early to watch the Ngannou fight, but
10 a.m. ring walk, I could do that.
Yeah, no, and we'll probably be texting about that fight because I'm definitely interested to see what happens with that matchup. But again, folks, make sure you guys check out everything. We truly appreciate you guys. We've only been growing this more and more. I hope you guys continue to rock with us. Make sure you tell your compas about what we're doing over here because we got a lot of fun stuff planned. The month of April, I mean, Gilbert, I know Gilbert's really excited about it. I'm very excited about it. The month of April is going to be a lot of fun for us. So make sure you guys tune in. And Gilbert, anything else before we head out?
Yeah, just some quick promos. Yeah, we will definitely kind of talk a little bit of combat sports on our Monday live. We use that mostly for NFL talk and we banter and we have fun on Mondays. But we'll talk. But we definitely want to start doing more lives just specifically on combat sports. So this is kind of like our first run here, and this is fun. Yeah, talking Ngannou and UFC 299, Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, Ryan Garcia doing a bunch of weirdo stuff. So we'll try to have combat sports specific shows, at least once a week, and we'll figure out a kind of a set time, Fernando. But this is fun. We got people in the chat here. I see, almost 200 people watching right now. So we gained a bunch of combat sports followers from the Ryan Garcia video. So we're gonna make sure to keep doing combat sports here on the channel.
Yeah, no, 100%. But again, guys, we're truly appreciative of you guys. You guys are definitely awesome. And for the time being, though, thank you guys. And tonight, you guys can tune in and watch, listen to Gilbert's free agency takes.
Yeah.
I saw what was it? Your top 10 worst free agent signings of last year.
Top 12, yeah.
Top 12.
And real quick, I don't know. I'll just say this. I ranked them based on who got the most money, not who did the worst, okay? And a lot of 49er fans are 49er fans are mad at me because I had Javon Hargrave number 1. I put him number 1 because he made the most money. I didn't say he was the worst signing. He was among the top 12. In terms of, I'll talk more later, but in terms of the money
people don't know how to read.
Yeah, the money that he got, his age, his production, that all came into play. But he wasn't the worst signing, okay? So lay off, whatever. But yeah, people don't know how to read. But keep reading my work, by the way.
That. Exactly. So, oh wow, Jorge just announced that we got 4.5K. So yeah, no, Jorge, we truly appreciate it. It's funny, Jorge. Before we went to the Super Bowl, we were at like 1.5, And all of a sudden, like all our hard work out there. I mean, you guys saw the people that we had on. I mean, Gilbert mentioned a couple. We had CJ2K. Gilbert got to do that one. I got Antonio Gates on the side. I got Vernon Davis walking. So, by the way, shout out to Dan and Dago for that one because he was moving and making sure he didn't fall over because there was a lot of people on Friday when I was talking to Gates. So he was trying not to crash into people. But yeah, no, we definitely did a lot of fun stuff. Vic, the producer, Dan and Dago, Gilbert, myself. So we're definitely excited about everything that's going on. And truly, again, thank you to all you guys. We're trying to grow more and more, but you guys are definitely the best. And we're excited about what's coming. But for the time being, ¿sabes qué, Gilbert? Vámonos.
Yeah, real quick, you want to watch that free agency special that we're doing tonight? That's 6:15 Pacific, 9:15 East Coast. So check it out later. But
you should have done it at 7 a.m.
No, we're good. I gotta get my body ready for Ngannou and Joshua tomorrow. So a little earlier. But all right, on that note, ya nos vamos, pues, vámonos.